Craig, you can't go to Montega. It would be suicide.
I have to get to Sierra before the junta does, and Antonio says she's marked as an enemy of the state to be shot on sight.
Craig, you have to think of Brian first. You are his only parent.
Absolutely, Mama is absolutely right. Not only that, but the chances of you getting into Montega, finding Sierra, and then getting out alive are probably non-existent at this point. Let me call Tom. He's got those contacts in D.C.
Oh, come on, sis, please, that doesn't work. Lucinda's been trying that for months. Our government can't even get the weather report out of Montega.
No reason why this is a crazy idea to go down there.
Do you think this is crazy? Do you think it's crazy for me to want to go there?
I understand what they're saying, but no, I don't think it's crazy that you want to go to Montega, or even that you feel that you have to go.
I can tell your meeting with Craig Montgomery must have gone very well.
Craig's been waiting a long time to hear that Sierra is alive.
I've never understood how little Sierra could inspire such devotion.
Sierra was very special. I don't think there'll ever be anyone quite like her again.
Well, she was certainly a mouse compared to her mother. And that woman will not be as easily convinced of our sincerity.
Oh, we don't have to worry about Lucinda. She's been committed to searching for her daughter from the start. Don't worry about that. The service will pick it up. And I think we've done entirely enough talking, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm glad you came by. I've been meaning to call you, but I've been swamped since I got back.
Well, you'll excuse me, I'm sure.
Yeah, would you stop by again, though? I need to talk to you some more about Ian.
Oh, sure. Just give me a call, okay?
Okay.
Nice to see you again, Kim.
Sit down.
I don't want to sit down.
Huh. I did intend to call. Has Andrew explained to you about Ian?
That's why I'm here.
Well, Susan and I were very concerned about bringing the boy back to Oakdale.
Susan, the source of all wisdom. Where the hell was she? Was she out to lunch? Did she forget to remind you about Andrew? You've been running around looking for your new son, and you forgot all about the son you already have?
As the world turns. This portion brought to you today by Mountain-grown Folgers coffee. Folgers, the best part of waking up.
I haven't forgotten about Andrew. How could you think I would do that?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because the only thing you have had any time for since you got the letter from Rosemary was to tell Andy that you needed to sit down and have a long, serious talk with him. And then you left him hanging like that all the time you were in Seattle. And when you got back, you didn't even call him. He had to find out from Bob you were back, and he had to go looking for you. And when he found you, what do? You introduce him to his half-brother. No explanation, no pre-warning, no nothing.
Well, I guess I gave Andrew more credit than I should have. I somehow thought he might understand what a shock it was for me to find out I had a 19-year-old son someplace that I knew nothing about.
John, you don't think it was going to upset him to find out you have a son a couple of months older than he is?
Not the way he reacted. The first thing he did was accuse me of being unfaithful to you. I tried to explain to him my affair with Rosemary came after you left.
John,
filed for divorce.
I don't give a tinker's damn about Rosemary. I'm worried about Andrew. You are the one who's been writing me about be sure you don't put extra pressure on Andy, be sure you don't throw him any curves, and then what do? Here he is, in the middle of a very difficult time in his life. He's falling in love for the first time. It is not a simple situation for him, and what do you...
He's in love? When did that happen?
Well, you see what I mean? You have been so obsessed with this stupid letter that you're not even aware of what Andy's going through.
He should have told me. You should have told me. The kid doesn't exactly spread his feelings around, you know. I could use your aid in letting me know what's going on.
God, it's our fault. Listen, I don't know whether to laugh or cry at that. All I know is that he needed more from you than 10 minutes to be introduced to his half-brother.
He had more than 10 minutes from me. He ran out. I tried to explain to him as clearly, as honestly as I could.
After the fact. Why the hell didn't you call him the minute you got off that plane? Why the hell wasn't he your first thought?
He should have been. For some reason, I guess I thought you, more than anyone else in this town, would understand what it was like to find out you had an offspring somewhere that you knew nothing about.
You know something I do understand. It's Andrew who doesn't.
I screwed up. I blew it with Andrew. No one is sorrier than I am about what happened. I feel terrible about his reaction. I would like to rectify the situation. What do you suggest I...
Whoa, I didn't know you were busy.
Come in, come in, come in. It's all right. Come in. Kim, this is my son. This is Ian Duke Kramer.
I'm glad to meet you. I hope you will be very happy here in Oakdale. I knew your mother, and I liked her very much.
Yeah? No kidding.
Do what you can, please.
I will.
Bye, Duke.
Nice lady. She's pretty, too.
Yeah? She's Andrew's ma.
Ah, your ex. Bet you wish you could have held on to her, huh?
Whenever I drink brandy, it reminds me of the old days. Sitting around on the veranda in my plantation, Montega. It's probably all a pile of rubble by now, isn't it?
The junta has destroyed everything.
They stop at nothing.
Juanita, do you have any idea where the guns and financial backing for the junta came from?
The only money in Montega now comes from drugs. The government's very active in the drug trade.
That would confirm my suspicions about James Stenbeck. The main source of his money has always been drugs.
Why are you so interested?
Well, if Stenbeck was backing the junta, it's possible that he could have arranged to have Sierra held hostage.
And why would he be interested in Sierra?
To use her as a pawn. He counts Lucinda, Craig, and me among his worst enemies.
But you told me Mr. Stenbeck was dead.
Presumably he is. And I suppose if his people had been holding Sierra hostage, they would have killed her by now anyway.
Thank goodness somebody understands me. How can I stay here when I know now that there's a chance that she might be alive? When I was missing, Sierra never gave up hope on me. She left Bryant with Lucinda and went to go look for me in Greece.
Greece is not Montego.
Well, even when she thought I would want her at home with Bryant, she didn't lose the faith.
Oh, my God.
She is encouraging him to go to Montega and die.
Won't let her.
Look, Craig, along with a lot of other considerations, don't leave me here with the business.
Yeah, hi, Chris. Look, I need a ticket to as close to Montega as you can get me.
Craig,
All right,
Craig, please.
Yes, I'll hold.
Wait till Holden gets back.
I don't give a damn about this business. I want to get my wife out of that hellhole.
There has got to be another way, all right? You've got to take into consideration, you cannot risk making Bryant an orphan.
Look, Casey came to rescue me. He didn't worry about making Mama a widow. Why is that okay and this isn't?
That is entirely different for a lot of reasons. He was working with the local government.
Yes.
We didn't have a child
Great,
then,
just call me
Craig.
as soon as you get the ticket printed up. That's great, thank you.
What are you going to do? You don't even have a clue as where to look for Sierra.
Then I'll start to look for her when I get there.
Oh, what are you going to do? Go up and ask the first person that you see? Excuse me, have you seen my wife? For God's sake, They may be a terrorist. They hear your American accent. They're going to shoot you first and ask questions later. God, they believe in their cause as much as you believe in yours.
What do you want me to do? You want me to sit here?
Yes.
You want me to wait for my wife to die?
No, that sitting here doesn't mean that you're going to wait for her to die. Sarah would want you to raise her son. She'd want you to sit here and raise your son together. Your presence in Montega will probably jeopardize her life even more. Don't you understand that?
Listen, I know that what you're saying makes perfect sense. It's perfectly
Yes, it
logical.
does.
But my love for her isn't, and this time I gotta follow my heart.
I wish I wasn't going off to New York and leaving you here all alone.
Boy, I'll suffer. I'll suffer.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi, John. Oh, hello, Mark. Mark, I don't believe you know my wife. This is Barbara. This is Mark Harrington. He's Glenn's brother.
It's nice to meet you.
So, Harrington, you can't stay away from a precinct, huh?
Oh, please, don't listen to him. He dragged me out to a police precinct when we were in Greece on our honeymoon. Oh, how romantic.
No, actually, this time was by invitation. I met your lieutenant last night. He, at the Mona Lisa, he invited me to come in for coffee.
Yeah, well...
Excuse me, hi, everyone. What's the person I'm looking for?
Margot went over to Craig's, Tom.
Great, thanks.
No, Tom, don't go. Before you leave, I have to ask you a big favor. While I'm in New York, could you keep my husband occupied?
Come on, I'm a big boy.
That's a big job. I would do that for you, except I'm going to be out of town myself.
Really? Where are you going?
I'm going to San Francisco, going to be a character witness in Grant's Bar Association hearing. So, how long are you in Oakdale?
Well, I'm not sure. It depends on how long my money holds out. I am paying more for my rent per night at the hotel than I did my whole monthly rent back in Philly. Yeah. But I would like to stay around long enough to meet your mother.
Well, she should be back any day now.
Well, if I were you, I would probably look for cheaper accommodations. She's pretty unpredictable. She might show up 3 months from now. You know what?
Thanks.
My mother-in-law is looking for a boarder.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Lila is a wonderful person, but I have a whole castle sitting empty. I mean, complete with servants.
Well, there's an offer you can't refuse.
Yeah, if you're like moats and Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, no. The place has completely changed. There's not a single murderer or ghost left.
What?
I'll tell you about it. Besides, you're a private person, right? And what could be more private than a castle on an island? Don't forget to put these in. Your favorite.
These are great, Ma. I didn't have any pots and pans in Chicago. You know, I don't think I cooked one meal in that old apartment.
Oh, I can't believe it. You're going to try to start cooking now.
Well, I think every bachelor worth his salt should be able to offer his ladies some breakfast.
I'll get the tape.
What, for my mouth?
You know, that's an idea. You know something? I'm going to miss you.
Oh, I'll be here through planting season. Don't worry. Don't miss me too soon.
All right.
Oh. Lily!
Hi. I have had an incredible day.
Huh?
Oh, Tonio has proof that Sierra escaped from the death squad in Montega.
That's wonderful.
Yes, her name is still on the list, which means she's alive, but she's in terrible danger. I wish I could go down there and help find her.
Oh, with what I've been reading about Montega, that'd be suicide for anybody to go down
sweetheart,
there.
you couldn't do anything like that. And, you know, Sierra's a very strong woman. She escaped so far. She'll probably make it out on her own.
That's what I'm praying for.
Well, you said the first thing that happened. What else happened?
I met John's son today. His 19-year-old son from Seattle.
From Seattle? You're kidding.
No. Remember that mailbag full of letters that was found? Remember?
No.
There was a letter in that bag for John.
Oh,
And it was from this woman who he knew a long time ago. To make a long story short, he investigated and found out that she had died, but she had a son. So his name is Duke Kramer. He went out to Seattle, he found him, and he brought him back here.
Oh, my goodness. Now, what did Lucinda have to say to that?
She has a migraine. I'm not sure that I blame her, though. I mean, she's doing it for John's sake, but I don't think that Duke Kramer and my mother will ever get along.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to pull all that paperwork together right now. 5 minutes is all I need, and then I'll be in your office, Rex. Thank you. Goodbye.
You might need this.
Oh, clairvoyant is what you are. So, you figure out what you want to do tonight?
Anything but eating that dining room again with all those servants breathing down my neck, you know, seeing which fork I'm gonna pick up.
Dr. Dixon. Oh, hello, Emma. Dinner at your place this evening. Well, I'll tell you something. Lucinda's under the weather, so, well, Ian and I would be glad to come, maybe. Hey, you two guys want to go to dinner out at the Snyder farm tonight?
Well, I can't. I'm seeing Emily, but Duke, you'd love the Snyders. They're very nice, down-to-earth people.
Yeah.
Emma, Ian and I would be glad to come. All right, good. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. Oh, I've got to get this up to Rex's office or he's going to have my head.
You actually have to read these things, don't you?
Yeah, occasionally.
Yeah. When I was a kid, we used to steal these things from the clinic just to look at the pictures.
I'll pass it on to Rex.
See the house he lives in? The place is crawling with servants. Give me the creeps.
Some people would like that. I bet you will, too, in time.
Yeah, I doubt it. I'm afraid to touch anything there, you know? And then the lady of the house, she's a real piece of work. When she's got a daughter, like a princess. Oh, this guy, Matthew. You know, when I went back to my room after I was taking a run, the guy was putting my underwear and socks away. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they're clean and everything, but just where I come from, no one touches your underwear. What are you smiling at?
I'm sorry, Duke, but you remind me of your mother. She used to say whatever was on her mind.
Yeah? What was she like?
She was very pretty, very bright. Everybody that knew her liked her. You can't say that about a lot of people, can you?
I don't believe this. My whole apartment could fit in this place. Did you ever think that you were going to own a castle one day when you were living in South Philly?
Oh, Lord, no. The only castles I knew about were the ones I built in the sky. Listen, you want a brandy?
Yeah, sure. It's hard to believe that you could ever feel at home in a place this big, but I see that you do.
Oh, well, you know, I didn't come here straight from South Philly. When I was 16, my Uncle Earl swooped down and took me off on his magic carpet.
Magic carpet, huh? Put that together with a castle.
Well, yeah, it was pretty much of a fairy tale existence there for a while. He took me off to every exotic port that he could think of. And then one fateful night, when I was 18, I unwittingly married Duncan, the owner of this castle. Well, the marriage wasn't consummated, and I ran off the next day and didn't see him for 8 years until he came here to stop my wedding to someone else. And that someone else was Brian, who's married to Beatrice, and she is Duncan's daughter, who we all thought was his sister. But anyway, Lisa's over there visiting them now, Brian and Beatrice, because Brian is Lisa's stepson, and they're having their second child. That is my entire life story, believe it or not.
You done? That's it?
Yes.
I was going to say you're pulling my leg, but I see you're serious.
Yeah. I know, it's funny. The three most important men in my life, and I really never knew them at all. They all kept secrets from me. Duncan, Uncle Earl, and Glenn.
Who had the worst secret of all?
This privacy thing of yours, you're not holding back anything major, are you?
Afraid not. Listen, I might not be as exciting as all those other men in your life, but at least with me, what you see is what you get. Hey, what do you say it's time for that tour you promised me, huh?
Oh, yes. Good idea. Walk this way.
You know where you can reach me if you want me.
All right. While you're in town, I would suggest you avoid Lucinda and Craig if possible.
I've thought about that already. Ciao.
Goodbye. Yes, is this the Zurich International Bank? I'd like to speak with Mr. Heinrich, please. Mr. Heinrich, my customer number is 0345296. I want to check and make sure that you got a large deposit for the account earmarked Sierra account. Yes, all right. Very good, thank you. Yes?
Miss Emily Stewart's downstairs waiting to see you.
All right, Walters, send her up.
Tonio, you've got to do something. Craig wants to go to Montega to save Sierra.
I can't believe even Craig would be stupid enough to go there. He'd be shot on sight.
Well, he is determined to go.
Well, then you'll have to look at the bright side. If he gets killed, you and Holden can share the company outright.
Oh, Tonio.
Why don't you tell me why you're really here?
What are you talking about?
I think you remember how good we used to be together.
Yeah, Tonio, I try, like, to forget that, okay?
Well, maybe this will help remind you.
We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now, part 2 of As the World Turns.
Oh. Don't you ever do that again.
Emily, that was real passion I felt when I was kissing you.
Oh, you idiot, that was rage.
Well, I'm sorry. I thought I was doing you a favor. I know it's been a long time since you've had a man in your life.
You know, you're disgusting. Look, I came here for one reason and one reason only. I want you to make sure that Craig does not go to Montega. Because if you don't, I'm going to tell him that you're a fraud. I think he'd be very interested in finding out that I saw Juanita leaving here while you're still in your bathrobe.
Look, my concern for Sierra's safety is just as strong as your concern for Craig's. And if he goes anywhere near Sierra, he'll put her life in danger. Although I know he won't come to me for advice.
Yes, he will. He needs your so-called contacts.
My contacts are very real, and if he goes anywhere near them, he'll put their lives at risk as well as cutting off any information I might be able to get from them.
Fine, so tell him that. Tell him if he goes to Montega, he is going to put Sierra's life in more danger than it already is.
The only thing I want is to get Sierra out of Montega alive.
Give me a break, Tonio. Save the sincere stuff for Craig. I know better. I know how you feel about Sierra. She walked out on you, and she had Craig's child.
Thank you for reminding me of that, Emily. Just remember one thing. Sierra's the only woman I ever cared about, or ever will.
Okay, okay. Hi.
Hi.
Where's Marilyn?
She's out back with Kate and Adam. Hey, bud.
You know what, Craig? I've been thinking. And I think that I was wrong.
Wrong? That's impossible.
Thank you. But I think that I was wrong about Montega. I was looking at it through my point of view.
Well, I like your point of view.
Your mom and Margot and even Emily were right. I think that it's time you start looking at it through his point of view. I mean, you're all that he has.
Look, he's got 2 doting grandmothers. He's got aunts, uncles, cousins galore.
I know. But that's not the same as Daddy. Craig, if you could talk to Sierra right now, what would she tell you to do? What are you supposed to do?
I think she's already told me. I have a letter written by Sierra. It was pinned to Bryant when I found him in Montega. Dear Craig, I do not fear for myself, but for our son, Bryant. He's just a baby with his whole life ahead of him. I will do everything necessary to protect him if the awful rumors prove true. Dear, dear Craig, I hope you never read this letter. I hope the fighting ends before I can finish writing it, but if it doesn't, If things turn out differently, I want you to know I have no regrets about returning to Montega. This is where my roots are, and in a strange way, the roots of our love are here, too. Having these memories made it easier to wait for you. And spending all these months here has only made me realize how strong the bond between us is. I always knew that you were alive, my darling. I knew it. How can we ever explain to anyone else the closeness that's always been there between us from the first day we fell in love? In spite of all the time we've been forced to live apart, the times we've been together have given me happiness that I never dreamed was possible. I thank you for that, Craig. And for Bryant. And if something should happen to me, please don't waste your time in grief. Think only of our son, for he is the bond of our love that can never be broken. I'm yours always, and I love you. Sierra.
Ellie Snyder's convincing Craig to go running off to Montega.
Well, once the Montgomery makes up their mind, it's time to change.
That's not true. You've changed my mind many a time.
But I'm good at that. That's something I just happen to be good at.
Oh, spring is definitely in the air.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, you're on your way out.
Yeah, why? Did you come to see me?
I did, indeed. But actually, I'm awfully glad you're here, too. You're taking Andy to the school board meeting tonight?
Yeah, I was going to pick him up.
Well, I just wanted to warn you that he's going through a very difficult time right now, having to sort an awful lot of things out. And it could be that he could use a sympathetic ear, if he's willing to talk about it.
You mean to talk about our new half-brother, Duke?
Exactly. Actually, I know you'll be a big help to him, too.
I can be a big help to myself. I sure will. I understand Andy probably has had it a little rougher. If John brought home a daughter my age, I think I'd have a difficult time with it.
Well, that's actually why I thought of you, Tom. You were just so wonderful with Franny when we brought Sabrina home with us.
Oh, Kim, I didn't mean anything
sweetie,
like that.
I know. It's all right.
Listen, I will just bring him by the house tonight.
Oh,
okay?
Great.
Good, because then I get a chance to talk to him, too.
Fabulous. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Sure. Not a problem. You know, oh, Kim, I know what I wanted to ask you. Do you happen to know what realtor Mac and Nancy are using?
I haven't any idea at all, but I could find out.
I think it's so wonderful you two are looking for a house.
Yeah, it is. You don't mind if I start looking while you're away, do you?
As long as you don't fall in love with something before I get back.
Can't promise that. Love is where you find it. But I promise you that I will not buy anything until you love it, too. And I'll have Paul to keep me in control.
You better.
Set to fuse. Yeah, it's right here. Okay. Lab needs you.
Great.
Adam needs us. We gotta go pick up Adam at Mama's.
Oh, tell your mom if there's anything I can do for her while Casey's away, give me a call.
I will. Bye-bye, you guys.
Bye. So, does this looking for a new house mean anything?
You know, why is it that everyone thinks that you just can't look for a house that's big and beautiful and gorgeous and big without including a baby?
Wishful thinking?
I'm taking it one step at a time.
Okay, good. Listen, I'm just glad to see you relaxed and smiling.
Well, I'm able to breathe again. James is dead. Paul's back to his old self, almost. And I am almost out from under Simply Barbara.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Me, too. Now I just have to find an assistant to help me and take some of the weight off of me. Of course, I'll never find another Hank. Oh, you know, I'm so sorry that this trip of mine is going to take me away on your anniversary.
Oh, honey, don't even think about it. We're going to have a private anniversary celebration.
Really?
Well, I've hardly seen Bob since he's been filling in for John, so we've decided to take an overnight at a little country inn.
Oh, nice. Where?
I'm not telling.
Oh, come on.
No. Mac and Nancy are going to come and take care of Chris. We just didn't feel right going too far away because of Andy.
Boy, what's wrong?
You haven't heard? John came back from Seattle with a boy who's just a couple of months older than Andy. Says he's his son.
You're kidding. Did you know about this?
Well, yes, I had heard in confidence that John was going to look for him.
Unfortunately, John hasn't handled it with Andy very well.
Oh, I feel for all of them. Andy, John, and the kid. Can't imagine what it would be like to find out that you had a son you never knew about.
Okay, you think they're cool enough yet?
No.
Come on.
I trust you two with those cookies while I go out to the smokehouse.
I'll watch him.
You better watch him. Now, they're for dinner, Caleb, and I mean it.
I would never.
Come on.
Oh, sure. Leave the fox guard in the chicken coop. Great. Here. Oh, they're good. What's this, Duke? Can't wait to meet him.
Well, royalty, he's not. You know, I tried to be nice to him, but he has this way of catching someone off guard and then pouncing for the kill. That probably comes from being a boxer. I should feel sorry for the guy.
Oh, yeah. Feel sorry for him for what? Finding out his father's a successful doctor who's married to the richest woman in town?
Why do you always think of things on financial terms, huh? I know what it's like for a guy to show up and announce that he's your father. I mean, especially for Duke, to be pulled out of his home and put into Lucinda's world. That's a real adjustment.
Yeah, real rough. Listen, I'm more interested in what you said about him. He pounces for the kill, you said?
He called me princess, asked if we were related or not. When I told him that we were not related by blood, he said that was good. And when I said why, he said I wasn't as bright as he thought I was.
Well, you did walk into that one.
Yeah, maybe I did. But it's just the way he said it, and the way he looked at me.
Okay. I'll straighten him out as soon as he gets here.
No, you don't have to do that, Caleb. I was just trying to tell you what my mother's up against.
All right, let me get the door. Here you go. Come on.
Our guests have arrived.
We're early.
Here you go.
Hey.
Right. Come in, come in. Thank you for the wine.
Welcome.
Duke, this is my son, Caleb. Caleb, this is John's son, Duke.
Nice to meet you, Duke.
Same here. Hi, Princess.
I don't believe this. This is better than any book I ever read. I have always wanted to actually be in a place that had a secret passageway.
Well, you can roam to your heart's content if you live here.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know something, Shannon? I do appreciate the offer, but somehow I just don't get the feel of this being the kind of place where I can come home, grab a beer, kick off my shoes, and sit back and watch a ball game on TV, you know?
Yeah, I understand. Is that what you did every night in South Philly?
No, no. Actually not. You see, when Shelley left, she took the TV.
Oh, well...
I mean, I could have bought another one, I'm sure, but it's probably like everything else lately. There you go.
I'll do it.
Not too good at making decisions lately. Just a little afraid, I guess.
How come?
I guess I don't trust my judgment anymore. I mean, I misjudged my brother, my wife, the guy who was holding up the liquor store and shot me in the leg. That can be a fatal mistake when you're a cop, you know, to have bad judgment. I guess that's why I'm kind of undecided as to whether I want to go back on the force or not at all.
But it wasn't a fatal mistake with you. I think you're being a little hard on yourself.
I don't think so. Look, I've had time to take stock of my life, and I have realized lately I have not been too successful in my choices.
But you were on the force for 10 years before you got shot.
Yeah, you're right. 10 years of walking the beat, that's not too impressive of a record for a cop. You know, Shelley left me after 7 years of marriage, and, you know, right now I feel like I was never married at all.
Yeah, I know. Things have a funny way of changing really quickly. The owner of this castle not long ago was the most important thing in my life, and now I don't even know how to reach him.
Because of Glenn, right?
Oh, no. Duncan's and my problems started long before Glenn came on the scene.
Yeah, but I'm sure Glenn capitalized on him. You know, I can't help but think if I'd spent a little more time with Glenn, or at least listened to him a little better, I could have picked up on something going wrong. Maybe I could have saved him.
No, I don't believe that. I believe everybody is the master of his own fate, and Glenn sealed his when he killed my uncle. But you, listen, look on the bright side. I mean, now you only have to be responsible for yourself. You have a whole world of possibilities ahead of you.
You're amazing, you know that? I mean, I just sat here with you and listened to your life story, which wasn't easy. But you still keep optimistic. I like that.
Well, I don't see any sense in being anything less than that. I mean, it's not that I haven't made my mistakes or that I don't hope that I learned from them.
You're right. You know, maybe that's what I need to do, is just take a step back from things. It'll help me keep some sense of objectivity. That's probably why I want to stay in Oakdale a little while, I guess. I have no connections here. I have no commitments. I'll tell you one thing, though. The next time I make any sort of commitment to anything, I'm going to have to be sure about it.
So, did you talk to Craig again today?
No, but he left a note, and he said he changed his mind. He's not going to Montega.
Thank goodness.
You better believe it. I think after seeing Bryant, he really realized, you know, well, his son needs him.
Well, babies have a way of doing that, and this one has a way of getting hungry. How about a bottle? Let's go to Kiss Me. Come on. Come on in. Come on in.
You know, Barbara has been a new woman since she resigned from doing Lucinda's line. A brand new woman. She's even asked Tom and I to keep Hal from being lonely when she's out of town. Yeah, so I don't think we have any more to worry about there. No, we don't.
Well, that's good.
No, we don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about Lucinda?
Yeah, she's wrapped up in problems of her own. I think whatever it was she suspected, she's long since forgotten. Yes, she has. And the most important thing of all, it's never crossed Hal's mind. No.
Huh. Well, I hope you're right.
Yeah.
Margot. What do you really think about Ellie Snyder?
Oh, I think she's nice. I mean, she's come over a couple of times. She's funny. She's independent. I don't know.
Well, just because she's independent doesn't mean that she's, you know, she's not getting involved with Craig.
Look, Mama, she knows that Craig is a married man. She knows how he feels about Sierra. We've talked about it a couple of times. She's very well aware of his feelings, especially after this afternoon.
Yeah, but how does she feel? I have a feeling this girl's going to get hurt.
Here you are.
Oh,
enough. No drip. Where's Duke?
Hey.
Hi.
He's out exploring on his own. I offered to take him on a grand tour. We wanted to go off alone.
Duke is my son. He's from Seattle. He's going to be here, and you'll all have a chance to meet him.
Oh, I can sit 2 more places for dinner.
Hi. Oh, no, Lily, that's okay. We're actually going to have dinner at the carriage house.
Oh, yeah? Who's cooking? Yeah, thanks.
I am. I don't want to hear any words out of your mouth.
I didn't say
you didn't have to. I'm going to get my swim.
So, Craig,
Good kid.
you heard the news, right? Sierra?
Yeah, I would have gone down there myself, but I got to worry about this little guy.
Duke! Here, come here, come here, come here. Duke, I want you to meet Craig Montgomery. This is Margot's brother. This is my son, Ian Duke Craig.
Hey, wait.
Well, what does that make us?
No relation at all, but it's nice to meet you anyway.
Hey, same here. Yeah, just tell the princess here. You know, I'm gonna need a scorecard to keep track of all the family relationships.
Duke, how'd you like the barn?
I didn't. I didn't go in. Afraid I might run out of that bull.
I'll show you around.
Okay.
Okay.
Craig.
Yeah.
This is for you.
What is it?
It's an extra casserole I had in my freezer. I think you might need it tonight.
Oh, Duke, before I show you the barn, there are a couple of things that I want to get straight.
Hey. Hey, how are you?
How you doing?
Did Tom tell you we were going to stop by?
No, I didn't say anything. I figured Mark was going to stay at the castle.
Oh, no. He's looking for something a little cozier. Lila, this is Mark Harrington. This is Lila Peretti.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Well, we were wondering if you're looking for a boarder.
Oh, well, I was thinking about it, yes. But I have to warn you, this is like a daycare center starting at 7 a.m.
Well, we didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I wouldn't mind a house full of kids.
Oh.
She's a beauty, that one.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Did I make you cry?
Certainly it would be nice to have a man around the house again, I'll tell you. Well, before we decide anything, why don't I show you the room?
Sure, I'd love to see it.
Mama, we are going.
Okay.
Oh, what about Kate? You want me to watch her?
I'll take care of her.
Shall we go upstairs? Okay, it's okay.
It's all right.
All right, well, we'll see you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right.
See ya.
Bye, honey, bye.
Bye.
Hey, well, why don't you follow me, okay?
Sure.
I might have known the princess would go running for help.
That's not the way it was, Duke. I'm talking from observation, just so long as you know that she's taken.
Well, it seems to me it's up to the princess to tell me that herself. If it's true.
She doesn't need to. I'm telling you. And quit calling her princess, because she doesn't like it.
Oh, yeah? Well, I don't like people in my face.
Then treat her with the respect she deserves.
Hey, what the hell's going on here?
This better be good. I gave up a dinner with John for this.
Oh, Mother, you can afford to let yourself be a little less available for that man.
Okay, what's the matter?
Hello, Montgomery and Associates. Barbara! No, Craig's not here right now. Is there something I can do for you? Why don't you do that? All right, bye. She didn't want to deal with me. She felt she had to talk to Craig, so she's going to call him at home.
That is a very important client you just hung up on. Don't you think you should swallow your feelings a little more?
Oh, no. I have swallowed my feelings so much where Barbara's concerned, my throat hurts. And I'm not going to have to do that anymore.
Why? What do you mean?
You know, I didn't want to discuss this with you until I put all the pieces together myself. A few weeks ago, I overheard Lucinda saying to Barbara that she knew Hal had a son he didn't know about.
What?
That's what I thought. And then one day, I was in Fashions, and I saw Hal walking around with Adam Hughes. I saw the way Barbara and Lucinda reacted. Mom, it makes perfect sense. I am absolutely positive that Adam Hughes is Hal's son, not Tom's.
Stay tuned for Guiding Light, next on most of these CBS stations. Jewelry by Monet. Join us tomorrow for As the World Turns.
This is CBS.